why we started Mindset Talks podcast. And some of you guys might even be wondering why we called it Mindset Talks podcast. Hey guys, and welcome back to Mindset Talks podcast. I'm going to start this off and be your traditional YouTuber here and tell you guys to please make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment to all of our pages. And again, we are on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram. So please go ahead and show us some love. It would be super appreciated. And so today, I kind of wanted to get into it with you guys a little bit and discuss what Mindset Talks podcast is, kind of how we started, and what our purpose is and things like that, for those of you that don't know, because I actually got a little bit reminded of that today. I was watching a video on Facebook, and I don't know who knows them. They're kind of a famous YouTuber couple on YouTube, obviously, duh. That I have been kind of watching for a little while, and one of the videos that I just saw them post recently is something that I was really able to relate to. So it's Rissa Quan, if you guys haven't heard of them, and they have been going through a pretty hard month, and I guess Rissa just lost a family member, and it's the first family member that she has lost that she was like super close to, and so it's really hitting her hard. And she brought up the fact that there's nowhere to really go. There's, it's not talked about enough to really understand like how to process those feelings, or just like be prepared for it in a way, although you can never truly be prepared for when a loved one dies. But just the fact that it's just such a taboo to kind of speak about. I do think it's really important, as a lot of you should know by now, our loyal listeners, because it's been 5 years since I lost my dad, and that was the first tragic, like, close loss that I've ever had. I have known people that have died before in the past, but it's kind of like the first that really like was close to me and hit hard. And when you go through that experience, it really just hits you differently. Especially being at a semi-young age. So I was 28 when it happened, which is very young to lose your father. And so, it's hard to wrap your head around, because again, like she had mentioned, it's not something that's commonly talked about. And even when people lose people, people are like afraid to talk about it, or they might be a little more my style and just don't want to talk to it because, out of sight, out of mind concept. But I bring that up and mention to say, like, that is a huge reason why me and Amanda started this podcast, because I know that for me, when my dad died, I turned to looking for Facebook groups for losing a parent, just so I can find somebody to relate to, because at that time I didn't know anybody who had lost a parent before, because remember, it wasn't until after the fact that Amanda and then one of our guests, Crystal, had lost their parents. So I didn't really have anywhere to go, I didn't have anywhere to turn to. I felt like I didn't really have anybody to talk to, because like even my mom had lost her dad when she was older in life, and as hard as it still is, it just kind of like hits different when you're on a little bit younger. So we thought it was super important to start this and just see what we can do to kind of be a support to you guys if you're going through something similar, because even to this day I haven't really found anything out there that specifies like losing a parent between the ages of like 20 and 30, like, or like 25 to 35, like something like that. And unfortunately, I'm now starting to see quite a few people that I know are losing a mom or losing a dad, and it's really hard. I don't expect everybody to turn to our podcast, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know about it. But I do really hope that maybe we can get it there one day, just because, you know, it's something that you don't deal with on a daily basis, and just being able to find someone who's gone through a similar experience that you can kind of connect with, I think is super helpful. You know, me and Amanda have always been best friends for a very, very long time, but I do think that experiencing this loss together and so close together kind of created a new bond for us in a different way, and it was just nice to be able to have someone that you know that you can like kind of talk to about it if you're, you know, obviously feeling up to discussing it and talking about it. And so, you know, I really do hope that we can be that platform for you guys, and that's why I'm always asking, you know, what kind of things do you might want to hear, or you know, if you guys have specific questions or something. You know, we obviously don't know everything. We have been experiencing these things in our own ways, but we certainly want to do what we can to help you guys and provide you some resources, or just be there for a shoulder to cry on and somebody to listen to, because I know it meant the world to me when I was just messaging random strangers on Facebook, just to, you know, get their condolences or to hear their opinions and their stories. And I do think that it kind of helped me to just be able to connect on that level. And, you know, obviously it's a little different because that's through like text and reading, and so I like the idea of being able to put this on YouTube and have podcasts about it and really talk about it and get into the nitty-gritty, because let me tell you, it is an awful thing to experience, and you really just kind of don't know like what to do or like how to feel. You know, I know for me, I just felt like I had to be there to support other people, to where like I couldn't really break down because I had to let others break down, and I never really had that time to kind of like process everything, which is also part of my coping technique. It's not everybody's. I do think that it just kind of helps me pull it together, because if not, then let me tell you, I can go down some serious rabbit holes. So it's probably better that I have that kind of mindset for myself personally. And you know, it's tough, man. If you guys heard me talking about before, there was actually, now that I'm thinking about it, one person that I had known, not very well, but we worked together, and she had lost her dad, and I was like crying to her every day at work, just really trying to like understand her perspective and just have someone to talk to that could kind of maybe understand what I was going through. And I can't thank that person enough, because it truly meant the world to me to this day, and I think about it a lot, and I want to be that person for other people, just because it just really helps in its own weird way. So I hope that you guys please try to share our content, just so that way if there's somebody that is out there that might need our help or our support, or just to hear something or to know someone that's gone through that experience, you know, I'm certainly here to talk to you guys, be here for you. And you know, I kind of really wish that, you know, we already had like a community. I know this all sounds really weird, because it's like nobody wants to have like a kumbaya, like, or like a group or community of people, you know, that have known people that died, but you know, that shit's life. It happens, and we need to support each other. We need to be there for each other, because it's not something that you should go through alone. You should really have some kind of a support system and guidance, or, you know, again, just that shoulder to cry on. And, you know, to wrap it up a little bit, that's again what we're hoping to do here. That's why we started Mindset Talks podcast. And some of you guys might even be wondering why we called it Mindset Talks podcast. And it's really because we didn't want it to be solely just like, oh, you know, I lost my dad, I lost my mom, and that's all we talk about, because there's a lot more to it, right? Like, there's a certain, not mindset that you have to have, but your mindset changes on things based off of that loss that you've experienced. And so something that you thought about before you lost them, you probably have a completely different perspective now. And you know, just how you kind of navigate through life after that. Like, how do you keep your mind going in a direction that's like positive and still like trying to enjoy life even though the person that you love isn't here anymore? And you know, being able to live your life to the fullest, and what does that look like for us? And you know, we try to be real and raw with you guys and let you know that it's definitely not all rainbows and sunshine. We have our moments. You know, we certainly, probably me more than Amanda, but you know, just like cry randomly out of nowhere if like something, you know, jogs your memory. And there's a lot of little things that you just kind of like cherish, and you know, again, it's different for everybody, and the smallest little thing can be a trigger for you, and it can be very overwhelming. So being able to share these stories with you guys, and you know, just to let you know that if you are experiencing some of these same things that me and Amanda have, you know, you're not crazy. It is normal. It's a part of the process. You're grieving, and you're going to be grieving, unfortunately, for the rest of your life, because you're not going to forget those people. And yes, with time, maybe it gets like a little easier because you learn how to just kind of live life around that loss. And really just try to navigate to live your best life, because you know that that is what they would want for you. As hard as it is, you know, they don't want to see you upset and sad and crying all the time. And so, you know, just really trying to take it day by day and process all of the feelings that you have, and not being ashamed of crying or of certain thoughts and feelings, you know, that you're going to experience, because you're going to go through it all. You really are. It's all normal. Even from wanting to seclude yourself to, you know, just making sure that you stay busy to not think about it. You know, those are all normal, natural things. And again, as we try to express to you guys all the time, everybody certainly grieves differently, and so there's no right way, there's no wrong way. Just as long as you're not harming yourself or others, you know, do what you have to keep pushing and keep going, because I will tell you, you know, at the end of the day, it does get a little bit easier. You just kind of learn how to deal with the grief, and it's not as strong all the time, but there are times where it is strong, if that makes any sense at all. So I don't know, guys, I feel like right now I'm just rambling, but I really want you to know that we are here for you, and watching that video just really kind of sparked something in me today, because I'll be honest, I didn't really know what I was going to talk about, and I came across that video and I was like, you know what, I want to talk about that, because this isn't something that is known. It's not something that's talked about often, and I want to see what we can do to get that word out there more, and ask you guys for your help. Please give us some shares so that way we can try to help somebody. You never know who's going through it. Just because they don't post it on social media doesn't mean that they didn't just lose somebody and need the help that you can provide them. So, you know, please go ahead, support us, share our content, see if we can help somebody else out, or if we can help you, please write into me and Amanda and let us know what you need, what you want us to talk about, what kind of, I don't know, tools or something that we can try to look for and provide you guys, or if you, again, just need someone to talk to and a shoulder to cry on. We are here for you. Please reach out to us. You can send us a DM, you can send us an email, whatever your heart desires. Just keep pushing. You got this. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I have today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying here without my lovely co-host Amanda. Hopefully you guys aren't getting too bored. And I guess that's all. So until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. Peace out.